Welcome back to the Union County Foundation podcast. Today we're here with Dennis Brack, who has a long history with the foundation. He's was formerly the president of Bath State Bank and a fund holder at the foundation, and he's going to share with us today his history and a little bit about himself.
Hi,
Welcome,
thanks for being
Dennis.
here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here. I appreciate the invitation. So a little of my history is probably best known for being at the Bath State Bank from 1977 to 2007. And so that familiarity. My wife, Suzanne, and I live on a farm in southern Union County, and we have an alpaca farm. So if you've heard of that, that's where we're at.
That's fun.
So
Why alpacas?
That's an interesting thing. I had cattle for a while and actually had rented the farm out to cattle. And finally I went in the barn one day and the cows were bouncing off the gates. And I went home and I said, cows are gone. That's it.
Done with it.
They can be somewhat destructive. And Suzanne immediately said, have you ever thought about alpacas? Well, no, nobody had. She had somebody, she worked at Miami, and somebody at Miami had alpacas, and they talked to her about what fun they were. And so this is really her project. I just shovel the manure.
How many do you have?
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, I think she has 12 right now.
She has 12.
Yeah.
So we fully note that.
Yeah, that's true. She had gotten up to 20, and I think as we get older and less sap to take
That's
on
right.
extra chores, it's getting slimmed down a little bit. But they're cute, and especially when they're having new ones and all
yeah.
that. So
That's exciting.
yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
So you guys are retired alpaca farmers, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah, I'm still on the bank board, so
Okay.
I have my fingers a little bit in that.
Yeah. Awesome.
But no, lived in Union County since 1971, so I'm real familiar with Union County, and kids have all gone to Union County High School.
Yeah.
So been a part of the community and engaged and involved.
Did you end up in Union County because of the bank?
I ended up in Union County because I ended up getting my college degree at Miami, and my grandfather had farms out in the Bath area, and he had one of the houses that was available to move into, so I commuted from
Nice.
there, and that's where I started. And actually, Bath Bank was the bank I banked with in college, and then ended up working there. So
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
so
So I think it'd be awesome to share the history of kind of how you began your involvement with the foundation. And if I'm correct, it started with the Bath State Bank Fund, correct?
Well, no, actually, I guess it started in several different ways. Being a bank and being on the executive team, you had customers that were looking at accomplishing their goals in philanthropy. And back in the early days, it was a lot of times it was run through the trust department of banks, but I don't know that was a good answer. And when the foundations began to develop, that was a solution for there. So as foundations began to develop, I became familiar with trying to guide customers to them when they wanted to do some form of philanthropy. Anyway, and then Franklin County, Bath Bank was, at the time I was there, just had the bank in Bath. And so it was an unusual situation in that the kids went to Union County School, were in Franklin County, and yet, we had that affiliation with Franklin County because we're located in Franklin County. And ended up, Franklin County was wanting to start a foundation themselves, and they had me on the group that began to form the Franklin County Foundation.
Oh, wow.
And what I was amazed at the time was I was getting a lot of my ideas from Union County. They were ahead of the game, and they had already started, and I think we were trying to model a bit about what Union County was doing. And I have to hats off to Wendell Bias because I was amazed in the time that I've been a resident of Union County. Union County is a small county, and it doesn't have the resources of other counties. And so whether it be in the school systems or whatever, always felt like Union County was probably a year or two behind everybody else, just simply because we were trying to catch up. But here in the foundation world, this was a model.
Yeah.
Boy, what I know he spoke about his trip to Jay County, and I didn't know what group put that together. But this county is indebted to that group for putting
sure.
this together. So as I said, I became more familiar with Union County because I was trying to take some of those ideas to Franklin County as they were
Getting
developing them. As far as funds, our first experience was a result of a tragedy in our own family, in that our son graduated from Union County in 1990, and he was highly involved in the school system for sports and drama and show choir and things like that. And anyway, after school, he went on and got his teaching degree, and he went on to teach at North Miami High School that is in Denver, Indiana, up by Peru and Wabash, and highly involved in that community and doing a lot of really good things, making an impact. And I was really proud of, that was his key desire, was to make an impact, and he was in the Big Brother program up there and everything. He was assistant volleyball coach at North Miami, and in the year 2000 they had a really good team, and they had won their first two games in the sectional and were on to the championship. And on his that evening, on his way back to the championship game, he was going down the highway, and a truck pulled out in front of him, and he was killed instantly. And so that it shakes your world forever when that happens, and you reach out for trying to find some form of comfort or some way to hang on to those memories, and to do an impact that would be similar to what he would have had been involved in had he continued his life. And the family got together, and we decided to do a scholarship through the Union County Foundation. And it was great to have the foundation had ideas, and we coordinated what our thoughts were, what Stephen would want. And we set up a scholarship that benefits students at Union County High School that go into some kind of science-related degree. And then there's a scholarship at North Miami High School that benefits students that actually come out of the volleyball program. And so, and we felt like that was something that he
Absolutely.
wanted. So, and then connected to that was something that we didn't necessarily think of originally, but it kind of fell into our laps. In 2016, we had nieces that were going to Union County High School, and the one that was a sophomore was actually in the musical, The Sound of Music, and then her sister was a senior. And so we went to the musical, and it had been years since I'd been to the Union County High School musical. And the whole family, we were blown away with how good it was.
Yeah.
But I knew some of the students knew a lot of the students that were in the musical, and the one that played Maria, she was known to be quiet and reserved, and I just took it all in as to how she came out of her shell in that performance, and she was fantastic. Her name was Megan Abbott, and I to this day I can remember her performance. Anyway, I just was moved by the performance and got to talking to my nieces, and just started to spurn some ideas about how we might be able to help. And this was, the musical, that was really where Stephen's interest was. He wanted to be in the middle of anything. It wasn't that he was the lead, it's just that he wanted to be in it. And I thought we thought that this would be good if we could somehow be involved.
Absolutely.
And that led to a meeting with Mrs. Albright. and who's the music director there, and I realized that this program was all self-funded, and that the school doesn't promote it in any way, and
Right.
so they're responsible, or they're dependent upon the sales of tickets from one year to finance the next.
Yeah.
And boy, the more I got involved, I just saw the passion in Mrs. Albright's eyes, and when she worked with it, and our thoughts were, boy, we could do some great things if we could
Yeah.
promote that.
We're so
program.
lucky to have her. She does such an amazing job with all of those students and has for
So many years.
so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is we decided to set up an arts fund where we promote that musical each year, and it's gone a long ways. They have their headphones. I mean, she always tells me that kids aren't actually very easy on the headphones, and they get broken
Oh,
out
sure.
easily, and they're
It's
not.
not easy on anything.
Yeah. And the props and all that, and you
Yeah.
can see that the performances, there's a lot. It's making an impact,
Oh, yeah.
and she just blows you away each
Yes,
year.
for
Right?
sure.
She's been very open to us and welcoming, and her and her husband do so much work there.
Yes,
It's been an honor to actually be part of that program and be recognized that we're promoting
Yeah.
that program.
Absolutely.
And the foundation, I think they've played such a key role in both the scholarships and doing the promotion of the arts, and we're very grateful and thankful for that.
I'm going to brag on my niece for a second because Anastasia is this weekend and she's Anastasia. And then my other niece, she's going to be little Anastasia. So it's going to be fun to see the sisters be big Anastasia, little Anastasia. So
that is neat.
Yeah, we're looking forward
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
that one.
it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Can we kind of wrap it back around here to when you were president at the bank?
Yes.
And you kind of talked about how you got Franklin County started, but can you tell us a little bit about how the Bass State Bank Unrestricted Fund was established and maybe why you guys decided to establish that
Yeah.
unrestricted fund rather than a designated or scholarship?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, because
Yes.
that's one thing that I think we're really proud of there. And it goes back to 2003.
Okay.
And at that point, I was very familiar with how the foundations were working and all that. And the board, at the end of the year, just got together, and we wanted to do something that was meaningful for the community and pure, in the sense that a lot of times you do things and maybe there's some benefit that feeds back to you. And we just said, just wanting to give money to the community and do it in a meaningful way. And generally, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so as we thought through the process and everything, said, well, maybe it can become meaningful over years.
That's right.
And we set up something that we could give to each year. And there were a lot of decisions that were made that maybe we didn't think were that important at the time. But in retrospect, I think it really has made a difference. And the one thing was that we decided to go into an unrestricted fund. And that has been huge in making a difference. It's easier, we're an ag bank down there, and so there's a tendency to say, okay, we're going to want this to go to 4-H, or we want to go to an ag degree or something like that. But after a lot of discussions with the board, we just said, we think it's best to put the money in the hands of a committee or whatever the foundations have to make the decision of what is the greatest need in the community, and to keep our hands out of it, and just all we're doing is giving to that fund.
Yeah.
So I like that, and I think the board has liked that over the years that way. And being unrestricted, the extra benefit that we didn't maybe realize at the time is that the Lilly grants sometimes have come in as matching grants, and so if the bank's giving $5,000 or $10,000, you get that much of a match, and
That's right.
it builds up.
Yeah.
At the time we did it, I talked about the fact that we have, responsibility toward Union County and Franklin County. So after a long debate of which county was going to get it, we just said, why not just split it in half and do both counties and benefit them both? And so that decision was also important.
Yeah.
And now, you're talking 20 years later, and I think both of the
Yeah.
funds have built up to a very sizable amount,
Yes.
making an impact. And that's what
For sure.
there's things that does flow back to the bank. It's a source of pride for the directors and for the employees that we're doing that. And the amazing part is that we have all new directors now from when we started this in 2003, and they are as dedicated and as supportive of this. This is important to them, and so
Yeah, it's a great thing.
it flows into morale and all kinds of things. But
Absolutely.
no, thanks for asking that. 'Cause
Yeah.
we really take pride in that.
As you should. It's a great thing for, especially a bank in the community, but even other local businesses in the community. Just something for them to kind of keep that morale going forever in the community to strengthen it. So,
And today, at the time we did it, I thought, boy, if we ever hit 100,000, we'll be great. Well, it's well past that now. And when you see those grants going out,
Yeah.
we look at them and say, it's doing its job.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And with it being unrestricted, like you said, it's not just geared towards anything. It's just whatever is the most pressing need of the community, which is obviously the most important.
Yeah.
You're just kind of hit a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful.
And it changes all the time.
Yeah.
What might
Yeah,
be
needs
important
change.
today might not be as important in 10 years from now. So it's nice that they can support many different causes.
yeah, that's really, that's a point of miss. It is. It changes, and what those needs are change, and recognizing that
Absolutely.
is important.
I think that just goes back to the heart of what it means to be a community bank too, is that, you're majority focused on ag and things like that. But at the end of the day, if the community's not healthy and the community's not taken care of, the farmers aren't being successful. The whole circle doesn't
effect.
work.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important. That's why Bath State Bank has survived as long as it has, being a small community bank. Because the people who bank there and the rest of the community see what Bath is doing for Union County.
Yeah.
So
And it just
And-
keeps growing.
Yeah, and that particular fund, I saw there are people outside of the bank that have given money to that fund because of what it does.
Absolutely.
And we have customers that promote it as well.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's been a good thing.
Yes, absolutely.
smart move.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I guess it's bragging and said, well, we were smart back in
Yes.
2003 the way we designed it.
Absolutely.
But like you said, it wasn't a move. It was you did it with a pure heart and
Yeah.
because you wanted to do something great for your community. That's what your first intention was.
So,
Well, do you have anything else that you would like to kind of add or say?
no, the
to
only thing I had a few notes here, and I really get a kick out of the arts fund because it's just, and I go into the coffee shop on Monday morning and guarantee after the musical happens, and so it's like I'm hitting the town. Hey, we're glad to see you promoting the musical and what you do, and boy, it makes you feel good, and it makes the family
Absolutely.
feel good. But one of the things on that particular one is feel good. I mean, I've done the scholarships and probably more used to the scholarship funds and stuff like that. But I talked to Mrs. Albright, and she said this year there's like 40 students involved.
Which is almost half. Well, I was going to say half the senior class, but it's not just seniors. So disregard.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and
it's
so-
a lot.
It's a lot, though.
And so
yeah.
that feel good, I love scholarship funds and they do great things and everything, but you're usually dealing with a few students, maybe one or maybe
Yeah.
a few.
Yeah.
But this one's reaching out to 40 different families,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
40 different students, and it's a good thing. It makes you feel good.
Absolutely. Well, thank
So-
you so much for everything you've done.
Yeah.
Oh,
really appreciate it.
we
Well, I guess-
express our thanks to the foundation.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
One thing that you do that I really love is, which we don't get a lot of with donors being involved, is you go out and you talk to the students and tell them why you give and why philanthropy is important. And every year, we take a check to the school and you talk to those people in Mrs. Albright's class and let them know like why it's important and why you do it. So I, for one, think that's awesome that you do that. And two, I think it teaches the kids a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, but quite frankly, it's self-fulfilling. I go there, and it gives me the opportunity to tell them about Steve and talk about why this is important that we promote this, and this is the way he was. He's, the show choir thing, it brings back a lot of great memories, and I was involved in that. And, one of the students, actually, his father was in, and Brian Grissom was in show choir with Stephen. So this is maybe a little spatial this year, but it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
You go there, and now you connect with the students, and you're connecting with 40 students or more than that. And so, no, it's good that it's having an impact, but it means a lot from the standpoint of the family.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Dennis, for joining us today.
You're
It was a
very
pleasure
welcome.
having you, and stop in and see us whenever, of
Will
course.
do.
Thank you.
so much.